Hello, lovely people. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Can you smell it? Yes, autumn has arrived. Oh, we've had such a great summer, so hot, so long. We still have a little bit of warmth, but it definitely feels like autumn has arrived. There's a smell. I don't know if it's the soil, I think it probably is, it's damp soil, but it just feels like that shift is beginning to happen. And in my mind, the words of Keats are going over and over. It's the season of mists and mellow fruitfulness. It's so beautiful. All those sort of really shocking primary colours of the summer, the bright greens, the dual colours of the flowers, it's all faded. It's all faded and fading. And now it's all about the sort of the reds, the oranges, the yellows, the barely blushing sort of nude pinks of the butternuts. It's a really special time of year. It almost feels like nature is telling us to just slow everything down, just kick back a little bit. But herein lies the dichotomy. As we march inexorably towards winter, this is one of the busiest times for me, both in the garden and at home. In the garden, it's all about getting the harvests in, getting dead, dying plants out, getting the ground ready to have the wintergreen manures sown. Busy, busy, busy. And then at home, it's non-stop podding and bottling and podding and bottling. And just when you think you can't do any more bottling and podding, there's something else to pod or bottle. I'm not complaining. It's hard work. But it's so satisfying. All that work we put in the spring, nature took over in the summer, and now we are surrounded by bounty. Oh, I love it. So here we are in the UK at the very beginning of September. You can smell that faint whiff of chill in the air in the morning. The ground is definitely damp underfoot. And it got me thinking, if I had a baton in my hand, if I had a baton that represented sunshine, warmth, growth, I'd be handing over right now to you guys down under and saying, happy springtime, guys. I hope this is your most bountiful year ever. Get out into your gardens and get the first seeds in the soil. Wow, it's so exciting. Enjoy. For us, it's the opposite, of course. So let's just go and have a little look in the garden. It looks so frayed and tatty around the edges. I'm just going to release you guys. Coming in for a cuddle. Going to put my hand over there. Yes, we're having a cuddle. Yeah, it's definitely looking frayed and tatty around the edges. And it's a dull, overcast day. That change is definitely here, but I embrace it. Like I say, it's a crazy busy time of year, but also, I mean, I love summer. Summer's my favourite season of the year, but I also like getting cosy in the winter. I've forgotten that word. Oh, someone sent me a word that means being snug, and it's some kind of Scandinavian word, and it's perfect. But yeah, I like getting to winter and being snug. Oh, look, fading garden. So, with the calendula patch, what I've done is I've taken out most of the calendula now. I've had a fantastic harvest from them, but I've removed most of them so that the parsnips can get a bit of light to them. They look like they're going great guns. Look at the size of them. Of course, their height and size and lushness now might belie what is beneath. They might be all fur coat and no knickers. We'll have to see when we dig them out. And then I've just left this little patch of calendula in the corner for seed production. And as you can see now, most of them are going over, so it's still really green. Once they start to go a little bit more brown, well, once they are brown, I'll be snipping them off and hanging them upside down in a bag to collect all their beautiful seeds. Look how many seeds are in each head. Gorgeous. And I'm sure there'll be a load of self-sown seeds in this bed come next year, so I'll probably have calendula in with my onions. Now the chickpeas this year, they've done something funny. I don't know if you can tell from there. They seem to have had a second spurt. They are now, whoa, nearly sort of 3 feet tall in places. Towards the end of July, it looked like they had stopped doing their thing. And they were actually, as you can see down there, where some of them have gone a bit brown and drying, they'd actually got like that. But I think what happened was, because we had loads of rain in August and quite a lot of warmth, they've had a little second spurt, so I'm going to have masses. And you see there's still flowers on there coming, so hopefully the bees will still be able to find the flowers, do my pollinating for me, and I'm going to have a cracking harvest from them this year, which means hours and hours and hours and hours of podding. I might have to have a podding party. Hey, anyone fancy coming over to Vivi's for a podding party? And look at the beautiful cosmos, still putting on a great show. I do deadhead them about once or twice a week. Well, yeah, twice a week, but that just helps them to keep coming and keep coming. The broccoli are all doing absolutely great in here. It's probably going to be nigh on impossible to see. I need to start thinking, you can see where they're pushing against the top. I actually need to start thinking about building a bigger netting structure over them, because they are absolutely ready to burst out. And I say it all summer, but I really love my winter veg, and I can't wait, like I say, for those snug nights where I can just chow down on just gorgeous, really hearty winter food. Potatoes, haven't touched them yet. I think I've still got enough of my new potatoes to keep me going to the end of September, so I'll quite happily just sit there until that time. Oh, pretty. So the rocking core have all come out. The pods that I was leaving for seed are now drying in the shed, and actually they're starting to pop open and show me their beautiful beans. This next year will be the tomato bed. So what I'm going to do later on, I'm actually making a separate video about it. I'm going to do a planned volunteer patch of tomato seed here. But like I said, I'm doing a completely separate video on saving tomato seeds and various methods. So keep an eye out for that later in the week. The celery, they've been great. Look at them, where they're massively, where I take the outside stalks. But you can see how, from that, how I use it as a cut and come again. And you can see once we get tucked in, oh, naughty little baby snail, how these new shoots just keep coming and coming. So I've still got masses, and I am, as I said before, I'm going to try and overwinter some with some fleece, and then leave a couple of them in situ next year specifically for seed. Yay! The celeriac. Look at these chunky monkeys now. They're getting so big. Again, it's another winter veg that I can't wait to get my gnashers around. Come on, winter, I want to do some eating. The Flint Corn. Look, it's majestic. That is pretty much 10 foot high up there. Wow. The cobs are forming beautifully. Let me see if I can pick some out for you. The cobs are forming beautifully. I got really impatient the other day and I took one off to have a look. It was absolutely perfectly formed inside, absolutely perfect, but still quite small, only maybe a couple of inches in diameter and maybe about 8 inches long. That'll teach me for being impatient. But yeah, tons and tons of cobs. They're beautiful. And this plant in the breeze, I've just loved it this year. Absolutely beautiful. Actually, let's go this way. Let's dive through the foliage. So now finally all the winter stuff is in. So in here I've got some purple sprouting broccoli. It all looks a bit spindly and pathetic at the moment, but that's okay. It's got all winter to fatten up, and then it'll be delivering come next March. I've completely run out of nets and covers, so this is actually a couple of remnants of enviromesh that someone was chucking out. And what I'm going to do once the butterflies have stopped mucking about, I'm going to take this home and I'm actually going to run a seam. So I'm going to join those two pieces together so that they can either be lengthways or like they are now over the bamboo canes. But it's great to get those in, and they've had a bit of a mulch with some grass clippings. What's great with our grass clippings here is we have so much clover in our grass that once these plants come out, I can turn this mulch in and it will be a great little feed for the soil. Carrots are going great guns. These were my second sowings on this side, and they're fattening up beautifully. I'm having whoppers out this year, as always, but this year they're straight and gorgeous. Actually, I need to harvest some for later on. I'm going to be making soup. Leeks, well, let's see if I can show you. They are fattening up, but we have rust here. It's inevitable. Everybody has it. Not really much you can do about it other than just strip off those outer leaves when it comes to eating them, which is what I'll do. So I don't fret about it. Don't get my knickers in a twist. Just leave it to get on with its thing and enjoy the scoff later on. The Savoys went in a couple of weeks ago. Oh, and they're all getting big and juicy too. Oh, I love this time of year. I love all times of year. But I just love the prospect of getting these beautiful cabbages home and cooked. And I will be showing you my cabbage pie later in the year. Oh, now look at this squash bed. It's all dying back. I love it when the foliage starts to die back though, because that's when you start to see all your prizes. It hasn't been a great year for squash generally on this site. Squash from seed has really struggled. Squash from plants, shop pot plants, has done better, but there are a few. They'll keep me going. But now look at this. Isn't that a gorgeous sight? I think it's hilarious that such little plants end up producing such whopping great fruits. So I should be having those for my tea very soon. And the colour, I'm just going to get closer into this one if I can without tripping. This is called Orange Bell. Can you guess why it's called Orange Bell? Do you think it's because it's the most ridiculously beautiful bright orange? I'm chuffed with these this year. I think actually next year I'm going to give the squash a bit more space, but I think I could probably actually fit in 2, maybe 3 more peppers in this row. Oh, can't wait. This, if you remember from a couple of weeks ago, is the cucumber I'm saving from seed. Great, can't wait. But then look what happened. Can I show you? Oh yes, there's another cucumber. And yes, another cucumber. This plant just doesn't know when to stop. So I need to take that home for my tea as well. Oh, cucumber, pepper and tomatoes. And a salad, yum, yum, yum. I've got a few bits of salad leaf. There's some romaine and some rocket. Oh, brilliant idea, Vivi, well done. And now the tomatoes. What a sorry sight. So if you see down that end, that's where 5 plants have come out completely. Now, it looks like a bit of a massacre, but in fact, this is my way of trying to save what I can. I've blitzed the whole bed Obviously anything with any sign of blight has come out completely. But then, say with this plant where I've got a few trusses, what I've done at the top, I've cut it out. I don't want it to grow. I want it to put all its energy now into developing these fruits that are there. So I'm hoping that this will be enough to, I mean, look, there's still masses of fruit. Masses to come. I've actually just been given a recipe for green tomato curry, which I will have a go with if these don't ripen, because I'm not a fan of chutney. It doesn't form a meal for me. I'm not going to open a bottle of chutney in the middle of winter and eat a bottle of chutney. Ugh. So if I can find a way to use them like a curry, which will be a complete meal for me, all well and good. So, look, still masses of fruit. They're beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I think so far I've bottled about £80. I've got another £12 or so sitting at home waiting to be done. I'm not going to starve. I'm not going to want for my tomatoes. But I hope these guys survive and ripen. They've done me really well. Woo! In this little corner where my cabbages were. There's only a couple left. I've been having them and scoffing them and they're gorgeous. Now, I've got to get a wriggle on with this. This is the bed of Cocoa de Pampol. And I spotted, I've not been around for a while, but I spotted, oh, get out of the way, leaf. And you see how it's getting these pinky purple streaks? That means I'm a bit too late. They're going to be a little bit tough. I'm going to harvest them anyway and eat them anyway, but they won't be as beautiful and creamy as, oh, look at the snails. This one, which is just, actually, let me show you these two together and then you'll see the difference. See the little pink streaks? No pink streaks. This one is the one you want to harvest. I'll do another video on that too. Now, the Rouge Vif de Tempe pumpkin. Look at that. Is there anything more autumnal and perfect than that? It's gorgeous. That's going to keep me going. Actually, when I do hack into it, I'm going to have to make sure there's a ton of space in the freezer, because there's no way I can eat this all in one go. Just to give you an idea, here's my hand. It's massive. And there is another one. Where did I see it? Down through there near the fennel. Can you just see it? Just in there. Beautiful. So I'm going to come this way for a change. So, oh, I really need to get harvesting. Look, all the beans are getting nice and dry. This is the Bolotti. They're not quite rattling yet. There's still a little bit of moisture in them. Here's a Gigante that's dry, and Gigante is still growing. It's crazy. So these two rows, the Bolotti and the Gigantes, I'm going to leave a little bit longer. But these two rows, these are pretty much ready to harvest. So on this side, we've got the Helder, which is a little flat white, and then let's have a little poke through here. On this side, the pea beans, which were new to me this year. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm going to do them next year. I'll see how they taste, but germination was rubbish, really rubbish. And because I had to buy these seeds because I've never grown them before, they were expensive seeds. So, jury's out on that one till I actually eat them. Yeah, not sure. I might just go for something like the gorgeous Gigantes and Bolotti next year and just stick to a couple. I don't know, I'll probably change my mind before then. Now, last little bit of winter stuff in is the Cavallo Nero, the black kale. So again, they look like little prehistoric trees. They look so spindly and pathetic, but that's fine. They'll get going and they'll go away, and then I'll use them as a cut and come veg through the winter. Beautiful. Oh, I saw a weed. No, that looks like little sunflower seeds planted itself next to a nasturtium. I'll have that out later. And then finally, more cosmos, more deadheading. Finally, the baby butternuts are doing their thing. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? And then there's another one there, and there's another one there. Each day I seem to spot another one, but they're beautiful. They are really tiny, baby in name, baby by nature. I don't know how much more growing it will do, but for a meal for one, that one roasted and stuffed will be perfect. Again, I can't wait. The Geet Okusomin, it hasn't grown at all. Well, not in the last few weeks, so I don't think it's going to get any bigger. Ooh, really not sure if this is right. I really don't know. But I will harvest it and I'll eat it. And if it's any good, I'll grow it again. I honestly thought they were going to be sort of like 3-4 foot long and a foot in circumference. But if it's not ever going to be that big, and rather this big, and it tastes good, then yeah, I can find space for it. You know, with a lot of these squash this year, it was an experiment. Can I fit them in? Is there space? Do they taste good? If I can tick all those boxes, then I'll certainly have them again. And last things leastly, that's not right. Last but not least, I'm setting to work finally on this bit of the garden, which I've been meaning to do since June, but obviously I've been really occupied with my great aunts. It's not been possible. So all I've done for now is dig out a load of perennial weeds. There was like dandelions, bindweed, thistles were coming up. So all I've done for now is get out those perennials, and then this week I will start. I'm going to obviously get a straight line that way, dig out my edge, dig this whole thing over so that I can mash it down and basically level it and then mash it down to a firm base to stick my deck on. Woohoo! So, it's like I said, you know, there's no such thing as sitting back and relaxing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe by the beginning of December I might actually get to just sit in the garden and enjoy it. Oh, but it's wonderful, isn't it? Like I said earlier, we put so much effort in the spring, all through the summer, all that weeding and watering we've had to do. It's coming back in the shed. And now, you know, now we've got this massive food. I've got so much bottled and stored already. I'm really delighted with how it's gone this year. I love it. It's funny, I was saying to someone the other day that I think I love it more as each year goes by. I think I get more excited about it as each year goes by. I don't care, it's brilliant. So, I've got work to do out there, haven't I? So for now, I'm going to say cheerio. Happy oh, I get so excited I can't speak. Happy harvesting, happy preserving, happy autumn digging if you're a digger, happy autumn no digging if you're a no digger, but also to all our friends down there, happy springtime, guys. It's here at last. Enjoy it. I'll see you all again really soon, I hope. But in the meantime, take care.